It's June 24th, 23. Couldn't sleep half the night. I got to thinking last night, those Vegas wanting attention. The strange light on me. It was in 2003. It's been 21 years. It was 15 when the case started. Okay? Well, no, like I said, then that traffic accident I had nothing to do with. Not a damn thing, I was at home. And they had nothing to do with the 6 to 10 surgeries, my muscles locking up, and then those crackpots almost killed me over a year and a half. And then 9 months of slowly getting well. It was a 4 or 5 year ordeal. Okay? In the middle of me getting well, finally, almost well, her father runs a stop sign into a semi in front of people, kills himself and their kid. I had nothing to do with it. Okay? I finished getting well 2 months later. Everybody has been rooting me on for months of pulling myself up and down stores, malls, streets, driving my own car. Okay. And I finally get well in July. Come November, my sister Linda is married to strangest kid Tim. She's out one day, sees him with Katie. She starts following him. Okay? She followed him one night in November of 2003. Comes up to me at church. Followed him again. I got caught. I think they thought it was you. I'm sorry. Be careful. Well, strange made up that lie. Just discredit me and get rid of me. Okay? Now, I didn't have anything to do with that traffic accident 6 months earlier. Had nothing to do with him. And then him making up a shitty lie on me just to get rid of me. And then reaching over and wanting attention. Now, I want you to think of this scenario. It's 2003. Has nothing to do with him. 2001, 9/11. The planes, the terrorists flew those planes into those towers and put them down. Thousands died. Could you imagine 6 months later, the family reuniting of the lost family members and friends, having a prayer vigil, okay? Trying to comfort each other. Could you imagine some ass or idiot walking up and saying, hey, that lady over there in that building was faking during that? They'd say, shut the fuck up. Get the hell out of my face. She had nothing to do with those terrorists killing our family member and friends. You're trying to cause shit in that woman's life. And we want nothing to do with it and get out of our face. See, that's what the Vegas should have said. She had nothing to do with that traffic accident. How dare you even try to bring Karen into anything? And trying to manipulate our family's tragedy for whatever cause you got going on. How dare you? You're trying to cause shit in her life. And you're not involving our family. See, that would take integrity, a conscience. See, where was it? September, October last year in Kohl's and Belden, some guy said I went to Lisa. I asked her, was she getting well a long time before she got well? I said, yes. Nobody thought anything of it when she finally got well. But when Strange said it, they all believed it. Because they're mindless boobs. So they waited, and then they had people drug, beat, and rape me and try to kill me because he said it. They knew the people they hired were killing people, and they didn't care. Well, if they know they're killing other people, you better stay out of this. I know. Okay. Psychopaths. There's this lady on YouTube. She's a doctor, a psychiatrist. the difference between narcissists, sociopaths, and psychopaths. Psychopaths, they're all narcissists. They're all self-absorbed. Okay? They only care about themselves. Psychopaths, they're born killers. They, on PET scans where they put electrodes on your brain where your brain lights up where it works, they don't feel sympathy, empathy, or remorse. They feel happy and enjoyment. They never did grieve over that kid. They can't. They can't feel sorry he's gone. They're angry he's gone. They're angry that Phil killed their kid. And they like the enjoyment and the excitement of people feeling sorry for them. Get the idea. They were never grieving. It was an act. Like that psychiatrist said, they can put on an act for a while of actually acting like they care about people, but they really don't. It's an act. They can't care. They're the kind of people that have a body in the trunk that they killed, get pulled over by an officer for a traffic ticket, argue about the traffic ticket, and not care there's a body in the trunk that they killed. They're the kind of people that will walk up and stab you in the heart and be mad they got blood on their hands. Get the idea? Strange was a psychopath too, manipulating people, controlling them, and harming them, and getting the toy out of controlling people. Savannah's his niece. They said it's genetic. That's where Phil speeding, blowing through a stop sign into a semi, showing off in front of church people, and we're all at home. Brian had to come tell us. Huh? He didn't worry about, he had his grandson in the car, he was speeding, and he running a stop sign. He was busy making his grandson laugh and showing off. It cost him their life. It's like you're born stupid. They're the hired hitmen, the serial killers, people that gut industries with no remorse. They're born that way. Well, Savannah is his niece. Yesterday, I had went to the Strip. It's a place in Belden where they got businesses, and there's a Walmart up there. I told you I went in there, and I'll tell you what, if the cops pull that tape of it, I'm by the food aisle. There's a guy, black hair and a beard. He's on the phone. The other person's speaking another language, and he's talking English. He said, I've been listening to all this. He said, I found out what was wrong with her before. And I told that family that I didn't think it was funny, them having our men say stuff and do stuff to her. I know they were grieving. They were grieving. They're bullshitting. They can't grieve. Get it? They can't grieve. And the other guy's speaking in another way. I know they were grieving everywhere. And I told our people they see her out there not to say a word. And I listened up to the time where she called for help, and no wonder she called for help, and I don't blame her. And people run around making fun of her. I told our people to stay out of it, and the other guy's talking in another language. It was probably one of the dark ones. It was probably Iraqi. Tape an audio in every aisle of Walmart's. Okay? Some other teenage kids. Now, when I see people, and this is how much the officers know me, because they've watched me for 5 years. I see people, and I'm afraid when I say something mean, I freeze. Horror of what these people did to me. Flashbacks. okay? Some teenage kids I've seen them, I'm like trying to brace myself, okay? And they said, that Karen's well that watches her said she's so afraid of people saying something mean to her. She relives what those people did to her. That's why her face looks funny when she walks by. Ever been tortured? Human trafficked in front of people, and people making fun of you for being raped. Skull bashed in, almost murdered, stalked, almost shot driving. Did you live through that? I did. FBI informant. Nationwide human trafficking scam. Left in the middle of the cartels. Okay. In the middle of all that horror, my father died. I couldn't afford to go to his funeral. It was in Texas. In the middle of all that horror. And I had to deal with a divorce on top of it. And being stalked and harassed. And being publicly humiliated. Publicly raped. Publicly tortured. My skull bashed in. Had migraines. So half my head felt like it was going to explode. I still have a dent the size of a hammer in the back of my head. From 12/21/18, stabbed in the neck and bashed in the back of the head. Almost shot driving a shooting night. I had to hide not to get killed. Phase 6 stalkers. In the middle of that, being a human traffic, rape, and torture. Well, in the middle of everything, my father died. And 6 months after he died, I had to deal with my divorce. My one neighbor, Amy, she's in a wheelchair. Somebody did tell me she was faking. I think I just scoffed and said that would figure. Did I do anything to her? No. She didn't have anything to do with Dave. She didn't have anything to do with my dad. Like Becky said, it's insanity. Told you, even on the strip, some guy was on the phone. I listened to the recorded line. And that agent did admit to telling on her, and he did talk to her that way. And then he tried to say that she talked to her sister, and that's why he left her, and he didn't care what happened to her. He can't do that. No, he can't. Absolutely no, he can't. And he admitted in Walmart that he heard on the tape that agent admit to telling her. Well, I had to go back to Walmart and where these people were following. I'm rambling in my car because it's bugged and these people hacked it. Okay? So I'm going through everything. And all the way up to about Savannah. Where I went to Kaylee. She's like, about Savannah. It's like, well, I know of her. I don't know her. What do you mean you don't know her? She's a little 18-year-old kid that sits with her parents. Why would I? What do you mean you don't know her? Why would I? Her parents went to that church a long time ago. I've never had trouble with her parents before. Okay? Why would I know her? She's a little 18-year-old kid. Well, you know, her old boyfriend, the baby daddy of that little girl, is really big in drugs. I said, what does that have to do with it? And she's looking at me like I'm stupid. I didn't know Dave was dating him. He's 60 and she's 18. You know, I don't even think, you know what's really bad? Him and Jack were nice to me. See, I never had problems with him. Never. I don't even think I've said hello to her. Well, when I went back to Walmart, people scattered. Some lady was in there. She had a skirt on, heavy set. Said nobody thought it was funny. They found out who they were doing all this for. And that's Savannah. And she was the one having people follow her and harass her. Her and her family. Savannah is Strange's niece. And he is very much a psychopath. A cult leader. When he was alive. Manipulated and harmed people. It's genetic. See what I mean? It's genetic. Shoot, I didn't know Dave was dating her. And she's having, and they're not even together. Dave's in the Philippines. He fled the country. Bought some girl online. Oh, it's in the Philippines. I told you, the day after I talked to that agent, the next morning, my whole family knew they were threatening my life. My whole family did. Pam had encouraged me for a while to call the FBI. You call the FBI and you tell on Dave and those churches for threatening your life. They'll take care of them. They can't do this. And she had been encouraging me for over a week or two before I called her. She's the reason I called the FBI. Because she was the one pushing me to. Okay? The day after I called, I just spoke to that agent. Okay, I told you he had already told on me the night before at Apostolic Church of Barberton. After I called the hotline, they kept me drugged up so bad I couldn't get out of bed. And on the third day, you know, I told you I got a hold of one of my witnesses. But that agent's number where he left a voicemail after the hotline. Put it in a card, dropped it off the mall, went up to Apostolic Church of Barberton. He's up there telling on me. And he told all them he knew I was being drugged, being raped, and didn't care. Because of Strange's love. And if she was going to be mean to them women, or mean to them women, I don't even think I even spoke to Katie. Since 2011, I always said hi to her twice in the month. See, she was cheating with Tim. And if my sister Linda wasn't going to say something to her, wasn't going to say something to her husband, me and my family, we seen him, or our family, stood there and act like we knew nothing. Because why are we going to put Linda in a position she's not ready to leave her husband? She's not ready to leave him. All of us stayed out of it. Just stand there like we know nothing. And be polite. Because why struggle her? And why put Linda in a position she can't handle? Exactly. Okay. Heard it was Precious and they're lying that it was me to her, and I always said hi to her in 2011. And it was 2018. Me and Dave and them all. I told you. She was making up crazy crap in 2011. That's when I looked up people and I'm like, I only said hi to her twice in a while. Dave and I would walk on the other side of the chaos. Like Dave said, she's pathetic, making up stuff for people's attention. That a married man would leave his wife. Oh, Tim may have cheated with her, but he didn't leave Linda. Got it. But the next morning, I called my daughter after I talked to that agent. And he did confess on a recorded line several times he met with the Vegas and the church people. Mocked me, even mocked me about the scam at Pete and how I didn't know it was some scam of a doctor. That I didn't know it was all a big scam, and was laughing at me how I didn't know. That he knew everything when the case first started. Okay. He was to arrest them the first day. He told Apostolic Church of Barberton he knew it was being drugged, beat, raped, and didn't care. Because of strangest lie of thinking you were sick and thinking you got well when it was a medication error. Medical malpractice almost killed me after a bunch of surgeries. And if she was going to be mean to their women, he was going to turn me back over to him. I wasn't mean anyway. I wasn't faking. I almost died. And the only one saying that I was faking was Strange. He thought I caught him and Katie together. I just made up a shitty lie, manipulating people. All my family physicians has documented medication errors and medical malpractice almost killed me. Dr. Lynn, too. Alright. I called Dixie the next day and I tell her, I want her to stay out of this. No matter what, stay out of this. And it's about 5 o'clock in the morning, 6. Trying to talk to her before the girls got up. But Karen, they're threatening your life. And I'm in bed and it's dark. And I'm crying. But I need you to stay out of this. But Karen, I'm scared for you. I said, I'm scared too. I hear the word kill it. Beep, beep. Security system went off. I'm like, Dixie, stay out of this. But Karen, they're threatening your life. I'm scared. I was like, I'm scared too. And I can hear footsteps outside my room. And I thought, I'm dead in a second. I have nowhere to go. And I told her, I said, no matter what, stay out of this. She's like, Karen, I'm scared for you. They're threatening your life. I said, I'm scared too. But no matter what, you stay out of this. You hear me. You hear me. You stay out of this. No matter what. But Karen, I'm scared for you. They're threatening your life. I'm scared too. Now stay out of this. Man, that's not what's going on. I hear everybody out, scurrying out of the house. I'm like, Dixie, stay out. Okay. Got up and somebody had got my house. If they wouldn't hurt me crying over the threats on my life, hard to tell them what they told them. Hard to tell them what they told them. I wait a little while and I called my sister Pam. No, she's been telling me to call the FBI for weeks. She's like, Karen, did you call the FBI on the vintage churches? It's like, Pam, they're crazy. One's already told on me. And the other one's there's ones that got a copy of my phone. The men on the other side of the duplex had a copy of my phone before I called the FBI. We're outside mocking me. I said, some have a copy of my phone, they've been mocking me. It's so bad I'd have to get a prepaid phone and call you at work. She's like, what? I said, never mind, I'm a big girl, I can handle this. You stay out of this. Fine, whatever. Like they said, he tried to say she called her sister.
I told her in 21 I went down to see her. I said, you know, I called the FBI and David the church. And she's like, I didn't realize that. She didn't understand what I said. Try to use that excuse of me telling on him for telling on me. Oh, those men on the other side of the duplex, they were outside. Now, everything's happening so quickly. I created a text message under me, and I was filling it full of jibber jabber. A, B, C, D, E, F, bank, da da da. And when I was 10 years old, we moved from New York to Ohio. I was telling everybody about Canada and New York. Well, we were learning about authors, and one of them was Aesop, the Aesop's Fable, the real small children's book, the guy that actually wrote it. Okay? One of the kids, he's like, you're like Aesop. Aesop's Fables are tales of another land. And he walked around calling me Aesop for telling everybody about New York. So when I go to school, the little kid would be like, hey, Aesop, you know. So I threw Aesop in. Just for an extra word. Anybody doing a crossword puzzle would know just to wipe it out. But it was just right in line. It would take a 5-year-old could do it, or an 8-year-old. It was that simple. But if Dave opened up, it would look like jibber jabber. Okay? Get it? They're out there, what's Aesop? And mocking me. Under my... I had a copy of my phone that's wiretapping. I thought a child spoke their mess. No, you listen, like that guy said, I listened to the recorded line. That agent did admit to telling on her. And he did talk to her that way. He admitted he talked to the Vegas and the church people several times. Several times. Knew about the scam at Pete and laughed at me how I didn't know. I didn't know anything. I thought the well water was killing me. Do you know, I talked to an officer. He said, you know, the police and agents can't stay out of crimes because they can be charged as an accessory and aiding and abetting those crimes. And they can be legally and financially held responsible. So where that agent said he didn't care what happened to me, I had some idiot pull up next to me. Well, we were all, they said they didn't care what we did to her. We knew they were drugging her. Who would have thought they photoshopped all that? Bullshit you didn't know. Fucking bullshit. Fucking bullshit. You're part of the cartel. It's a big drug scam, photoshopping and washing and review confessions. That's what I did research on Slippin' Mickey's. They've been lacing people's drinks since 1890. Get somebody stoned so they don't know what they're saying or doing. How would you like to wake up with bruises and never talk to anybody or see him? And serial rapists preying on you. You're not in trouble for that. And everything's been digital. Oh God. People have had computers that they could Photoshop stuff for over what? 14 years? Way over then. Simple apps. You can change your hair, your hairstyle, hair color, eye color. You can narrow your face, change your nose. You take your head and put it on somebody else's body. You can take, because everything's digital, word out of one sentence, word out of another, and move it over and tape back over. Make a whole new sentence, make them look like they're saying something they didn't. Everybody knows this. Take a shower scene to another room. All you do is click and paste. Go through the clothes, change the clothes. Everybody knows you can do this. And they've been able to do it for years. You have enough
experience with technology, it's simple. And that agent telling people at Apostolic Church of Barberton, I told you, when we dropped off that card, we went up to Apostolic Church of Barberton. Paul Bateman got into his face. My God, I had an FBI agent in my office. He's right there. I walk off, and he's still screaming at him, how dare you bring the FBI up here with threats on her life? Okay? Women walk up. He knows she's being drugged, beaten, raped, and he said he didn't care. I had bruises, orange, lemon, grapefruit, all over me. Then throwing up, headache, heart racing, and a severe swollen personal infection until I couldn't hardly pee. I've been seen by Altman family physicians for all the signs of being drugged, being raped. And I'm thinking it's the dirty well water killing me. And they got me on stuff for headaches, throwing up, iron pills for all the bruises, thinking I'm coming anemic, muscle relaxers for the pain, and pills and creams for the infection, personal infection. I was being sexually abused under drugs, human trafficked. Those women said, she's being drugged, beaten, raped, and he said he didn't care. My heart's sinking in my stomach. Is that what's going on? I go in and I sit down, they follow me. He knows she's being drugged, beaten, raped, and said he didn't care. If she was going to be faking she was sick and faking she got well that family was grieving, the ones that are blowing smoke up your ass. They weren't grieving. They never did. They can't grieve. They're sociopaths. They don't feel sympathy, empathy, remorse. They can feel anger, happy, joy, and excitement. Angry, the kids dead. And they're loving all the tension they get off of manipulating people. They're just Satan. Get it? If she was going to be faking she was sick, and she got well, when it's a medication or a medical malpractice, someone's coming. Well, that family was grieving. He didn't care what they did to her. And if she was going to be mean to their women, where would I be mean to their women? I went to their church in years. Where would I see them? Where would I talk to them? They were lying. There was no harassment reports. There was no trial. There was no nothing. Because they were blowing smoke up his ass. Like they said outside Walmart on the Strip, they think Karen's Well is stupid. If she was going to be mean to their women, he didn't care what they did to her. Can you imagine an agent saying that? Dave comes in, let's go. Get out in the truck, you call that VI on me. Get out in the truck and he starts punching me, peeling out. I had to kill you myself. He went for a loaded gun. I put my hand on the console and knocked off and went back to punching me, and I almost jumped out on the highway. Ran from my house. Next day I call that agent back from the recorder line where he left a voicemail. Told him somebody told me. You liar. It was him. Documented by the police. I had told him about the guy that threatened to knife me at a Giant Eagle. He calls me a liar. He's a serial killer. He killed Lori's family member and he took Marlise's niece as part of the human traffickers. I told him he tried to kidnap me before, and I went to tell him that Terry Coberly seen him. And he said, oh, come on now. Even if one of those church people seen him, they would never verify it. Well, she did and let me tape her with her permission. I'm at with that family in my office and all those church people, and I know they're trying to kill you because you were faking you were sick and faking you got well when that family was grieving. It was to arrest him, right? Yeah. Trying to murder somebody? And make up a shitty lie on top of it? A shitty excuse? It's like I really was sick before. Was there a camera above that bench or not? I don't know. You say you're lying, I'll put you in jail. I'm like, what? Oh, Rush, did you hear me? You say it or I'll put you in jail. I was like, fine, whatever. Now, I want you to say you were faking before. I almost died. It's documented medical malpractice, documented medication errors. It's like I really was sick before. I've had that family in my office. I've met with all those church people. And I know they were trying to kill you because you were faking you were sick and faking you got well while that family was grieving. And it's like I really was sick. You need to realize what you've done. And I don't blame him for trying to kill you. He actually says that on the recording line. He actually says it. Aiding and abetting murder. It's like, look, I really was sick. He's like, you either say it or I'll leave you there. They're going to try to kill me. So. They've tried to kill me. So. You say it or I'll leave you there. And I start begging for my life. He's like, say it or I'll leave you there. It's like, fine, just don't let them kill me. Ha, 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 ha. Why would that be? I help a person like you. Well, they're going to try to kill me. So. It's a sworn duty. They've tried to kill me. So. Like, can just go around killing people. Okay? And the other guy yells out the scam at Pete. Where, what was it? March 20th, 24, something like that. Walmart 62. That they made up Pete. They made up everything on me to get away with this. We could use Pete's tape of Weird With Yourself, the shower scene in the other room. No, I don't even know who they're talking about. The only Pete I know is my brother Medina. Okay? I said, what are you talking about? Because there's a shower scene in the other room. Stalking tapes. A drug scam from the cartel. That they hired. The drug cartel. It was a drug cartel. Documented by the police. That they were the ones in my home before. It was a drug cartel. Okay? He didn't arrest him for hiring the drug cartel. I said, what are you talking about? Because it's Photoshop. He's laughing at me for my rapist. The guy that had been drug being raping me all summer. And then he says something else about Pete. Now, I've never talked to him. Don't even know who he's talking about. Where I've been getting sick, throwing up, waking up with injection marks. The serial rapist that had been preying on me, he's laughing at me. And then, I guess one of them is a roofie confession. I'm like, what are you talking about? He'll stop. You don't know. I bet you're going to say you don't know anything about this doctor selling your information. Found out December 30th, 23, Walmart. December 30th, 23, Altman Hospital. Altman Hospital is denouncing him. It's just some guy saying he's a doctor. HIPAA violations. None of your doctors can talk to any of them without your written release. Got it? It's some guy. It's 1 to 5 years and $250,000 fine. That's how much they can't talk to him. Now, I want you to think about this. I said, what are you talking about? But I had some lady use my insurance from the second year on, and we got stuck with her medical bills. My insurance was so good, I paid for 80% of everything. That's where that doctors ripped the hell out of it. And falsely diagnosed me, prescriptions, they're getting kickbacks from the drug company. Like they said, you have the golden ticket insurance company. Pays for almost everything. She stayed in the hospital, had her seizures done. I found out she had 2 little girls. I was arguing with the hospital one time when we wanted to talk about your stay here. I said, I haven't stayed at your hospital. Well, you have 2 little girls. It's like, look, I have 3 stinky little boys. And she ran up all kinds of bills. Dave was probably cheating. It was probably one of his girlfriends. You didn't have to show ID back then. Okay? And I thought maybe it's one of her bills. Here's just some fraud scheme. Okay? Because no doctor, because of negligence, is 1 to 8 years. And it took another doctor to telling them they were killing me and ripping my insurance off. And known for lying, falsely diagnosing people to rip them off. And doing unnecessary procedures, sharing them with their associates and friends that were doing the same thing. My God, they made my whole body swell up. They made my heart valves enlarge. Caused many heart attacks. My heart's still damaged. It still flutters at times. My brain swelled. They lied. I had brain tumors, shut down my thyroid, my adrenal gland. I almost died. They wanted to remove. They were lying so bad they said I had level 2 brain tumors. They induced seizures. All to rip me off. Get it? We're looking like an attempted murder, insurance fraud. Big time. Jail time. Negligence is 1 to 8 and $1.5 million fine. Like they said, nobody will back that. They almost killed me. And it took another doctor to tell on them. Now, he's like, stop, she don't know. We'll go back to him. And then he's like, give me a reason. I tell him about my brother-in-law, Craig. He asked me if I've talked to any law enforcement. I told him on August 8th of 18, I had a light on a security system. Those officers were either silly or stupid. They told me I looked like an alien orb or an angry spirit. And I thought they were dehydrated. I offered them water. And then they told me to buy a dog and let a dog handle it. They didn't want bother. He's like, you're kidding, right? And I'm like, no. And he said, well, I could take you somewhere and leave you with no money. I didn't have money to start. And then he offers me the informant program. He was to get information on David and churches. I didn't know his face in the drug cartel. And several of them. Okay? I thought, well, they're already breaking to 3 people in the mall. It's them trying to kill me. It'll last a few weeks and I'll be set for life. You know, I can do this. He said it comes with $5,000 a month. I'm opening an account today. Nothing legally stated, dated against you again, and only for you, and only for you would we ever do this for. We'll always put it back as if it never happened. You can't be legally charged for anything again for working this case, and you have that money to live on when you move out. Admit to no wrongdoing. I'll take care of everything in the end. But if you try to tell someone else you're crazy, no one will help you. 14th Amendment, you cannot withhold protection. And you can't let somebody crazy take First Amendment. It takes a judge to put a gag order on you. He's only a higher police officer, prosecutor's office, criminal attorney, and police. And he can't bully you into false statements. And you only get the money for only working the case. He took my money and fed me to the drug cartel. I'm going to upload this.